briefly on some of the things that he's been writing. He's been writing. Richard Brighton came to me the other time and said, hey, could you big bigality.
He writes bigalities.
In Buko Manku's voice.
Yeah, man.
Bigality. Charlie, how are we, bro?
Good morning. Good morning, Johnny.
Morning.
Good morning, Mawina.
Yeah, good morning. We can't get into the newspapers because if I don't let Phil play the song,
allow him to play.
He's going to put me in trouble. So
allow him to play.
Let's get into the newspapers for you right now here on the 3FM Sunrise.
3FM Sunrise.
Sunrise on 3FM.
So 19 to the top of the hour.
Somebody actually asked me, who is that your DJ?
Really?
He has authority too much on the show.
Yeah. If he doesn't play, he wakes up to
It's
come
our
and play the music.
DJ. It's our DJ. We love him.
And he wakes up to come and play the music.
Yeah,
That's an important part of it.
He will wake up at dawn to come and play music. And you say you will not let him play the music. They joke.
Or we should let you start this one.
No, replay the song. Replay the song.
3FM Sunrise.
Let's get into the papers for you. A lot to talk about today. On social media, I've been seeing a lot of, I don't want to call it PR work, but a lot of people have been talking positive about gold fields. It's time to renew license, and so they've come around and they are seeking to convince the relevant authorities to help them do that. Following what has been renewed campaigns by the IEA that, look, let's localize and have local persons take charge of all of our mineral resources, particularly in the aspect of gold, because we've developed some competence over the period. I think we were talking about this last week. The only reason I'm mentioning it again is I've seen a lot of influencers posting about the good work they've been doing and all of that, and so looks like the campaign is on for
to
them
keep Goldfields
to have their license.
I will support a local participation any time. Local participation any day, any time, because I don't think that we have really benefited from them in terms of how much and how we have benefited from them in any way. I would opt for a local participation, and that's my case. Matter close.
Matter close indeed. That's okay. No, I'm not sure you want to recuse yourself, or you want to recuse yourself from this one.
No, he has an opinion.
I think I share the same sentiments with Johnny. I mean, if you look at our mineral resources, it hasn't served us much as a nation. So I'm for localizing, nationalizing some of these mineral resources. But will it be sustainable? Will it be nationalized or privatized and in a few years sold back to these same foreign interests? I think those are my concerns largely. Yeah.
As in the local companies, what the participating interest would be possibly.
Yes.
That's a fair point.
Yes.
That's a fair point, because in fact it was one of the many things I read when the conversation started, that with the international partners who are here already, who own the lease, at least it's a foreign company. You're getting X amount in terms of taxes, X amount in this, X amount in that. But sometimes under the guise of local company, it's foreign interest completely being served.
Exactly.
And you grant them all of the waivers in terms of some of the corporate income tax at the threshold which you slap on foreign companies, and then in the end it will be foreigners enjoying the participatory
people fronting for the locals.
Yes, the locals fronting for multinationals and all of that. I wonder if that comes up in terms of investigations into what constitutes local participation. But most certainly, it's an area that can be looked at, even as the conversations continue in relation to whether or not leases are renewed. But I want to start off the newspapers with the Daily Graphic this morning. They lead with VRA NEDCO staff reject privatization. Comes with a picture of the energy minister. This thing has been discussed thoroughly, where they say they are only leasing portions of distribution.
Right.
And I recall very well because I attended the news conference when the committee which was set up by government came forth with the recommendations, right? Recommendations for what sort of privatization. In fact, it was in 3 layers. At the end of the day, in terms of the conversations which were had, the government was of the view that distribution, if possibly, should be given to private persons so that they can take care of that. I am wondering where all of this has gone to, and we've returned to a rejection of privatization. But I'll get the story a lot later, and it's a news desk report. Also on the front page, mining sector delivers over 2 billion cedis royalties in first quarter of the year. Supreme Court permits CSOs to join suit challenging OSP, and Accra Fireside Dialogue. Experts, diplomats discuss structural barriers to Africa's global influence. On the back page, Black Stars need belief, not rebuilding. Assistant coach Desar is saying this. Roger Desar is an assistant coach to the Black Stars Queros, has been speaking, and that's the only story on the back page. 22 days to the FIFA World Cup. The countdown is on. The news center is what I have next. Damine Mine gold sales to Gold Board hits 224 kilograms in support of BOG's reserve accumulation. Gold Board's Director for Technical Affairs, Michael Ako, and Counsel for Jata Holdings, Bobby Banson, during the presentation ceremony as Ibrahim Mahama, alongside officials of Jata Holdings and Gold Board, look on. PCI to reduce financial dependence on IMF. That's according to the BOG Governor, Dr. Isiama. Supreme Court allows 14 CSOs to join OSP legal battle. And Africa Prosperity Network calls for Africa-wide mobile money interoperability. NPP petitions diplomat on threats to free speech. Yesterday, they presented a petition to the Dean of the Diplomatic Press Corps. Oh no, rather it's a rep, not the dean, it's a rep. On the back page, that Damine story is all there. It takes over the back page of the news center. The Daily Post, First Lady Lordina Mahama recognized by MEC Foundation for her impactful programs. A number of my colleagues as well, Sarah Penkro and Grace Hamwa Jiman, were awarded during that ceremony yesterday by MEC Foundation. You have pictures of it on the back page of the Daily Post, as well as the First Lady Lordina Mahama was honored as well. Supreme Court dismisses application to halt trial of former NSA Deputy Director. That's also on the front page. And NPA CEO, Ghana remains confident in its fuel pricing policy framework and supply security arrangement. Those are the details I have on the front pages here. Kay, I'll come to you on what you have as well.
Yes, the New Ghanaian Times. I have on the front page, Southern Ghana faces flood threat. GMET warns as heavy rains approach. And then we have Mr. Peter Derry speaking on behalf of MEST. Says nation needs $53 billion to fight climate change.
That's the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology.
Yes.
We need what? $15 billion?
Yes, $53 billion to fight climate change.
How much revenue do we reckon?
That's a lot of money.
That's 530 billion cedis.
53 billion.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's more than
Kekujo is mentioning the thing as if it's some small money.
Yeah, 53
billion dollars.
Dollars.
Yeah. Billion.
That's almost 2 times the
Yeah.
revenue possibly that GRA could raise for this country.
Yeah.
Almost 2 times.
And then NPP petitions diplomatic corps over alleged political persecution. And government to roll out 2026 to 2030 decentralization framework, says the Executive Secretary, IMCC.
Right.
Then we have the Accra Times also. Front page, it says Afoko, a born leader, educationist vouches for integrity. And we also have partner APNAC to fight corruption, Bagbin calls. That's the speaker right there. And we have Fifi Kwete calls for unity and patriotism.
He's been speaking.
Yeah.
He is.
I think
Yeah,
he addressed a news
he's been on
conference.
on that campaign for a while. And APAC grateful to Bulsa South supporters in Accra, assures them of more development. MPA, Western Naval Command, destroy illicit fuel boat. And Michelle Camp residents cry for portable water supply. Michelle Camp residents.
1 billion.
Yes. So that's it for the Accra Times as well.
That's it for that.
The Daily Guide this morning says NPP petitions diplomatic community over political persecutions. Also embattled NP faces Dutch court tomorrow. Ohene Kwame Frimpong, Member of Parliament for Asante Achim North there, pictured there. NDC scribe dies in hotel room. Oh, Isaac Bacha, why did you die in the hotel room? Okay.
Yeah,
Illegal
going to
miners.
rest. Yeah, going to catch. Sometimes it's good to change your environment.
And he
So
died in the hotel room.
It changes the environment, unfortunately.
Okay, all right, it's okay. Illegal miners invaded Wuntumi's mine, according to the ex-deputy minister. Supreme Court blocks Gift Your Worries move to halt trial. We discussed this last week, Brian, didn't we? The custodian newspaper this morning says NDC has failed faster than anticipated. Anodompre fires Mohammed's government. Also, NPP petitions foreign diplomats over soaring state condoned persecution. Zoom Lion Kenya to transform Nairobi waste management system, and PIAC highlights Ghana's failing oil production. On the back is the same. The Bank of Ghana is warning also against weakening financial market documentation. What's on the front page of the publisher? I tell you. The new publisher paper says, I fired judge's lawless conduct, not his person, according to Alexander Osahin Alexander Apenyomaking. Stop harassing our people or face revolt. MPP wants government over 16 political arrests. We here. That's it for me, Marina.
The comment, I think was
on the Facebook post.
Yes, was a bit unfortunate, right? Because we've all been fair in condemning the sometimes overly incessant use of sections 207 and 208 of Act 29 in wanting to pick persons up. Because I am yet to see prosecution, maybe someone needs to remind me, that has gone all the way to the end in relation to sections 207 and 208.
Right.
But for the national youth organizer of a party to suggest that weapons and what have you was going to be, they were going to arm.
You're going to weaponize their base.
Their base.
Their base, yeah.
Respectfully.
Yeah.
Respectfully. Because it's not something we want to repeat on air, so don't even...
No, he's not going to play
No,
that.
he's actually... Okay, for our viewers on Facebook...
You know the interesting thing?
You know...
This gentleman is called Salam. You know what Salam means?
Peace.
Peace. Why is it not being peaceful?
You know, I mean,
when I talk, no, it's okay. Don't go there.
You know,
like courage is afraid of a dog. Wisdom feels exam.
Some of the comments,
those ones don't go there.
Yeah. Some of the comments.
They call somebody's named Courage, but he's afraid of a small puppy. Yeah, the wisdom.
I mean, it's no
he feels
different
the exam.
It's no different from what they are preaching against. Because you can solve your problems with the same mindset that created them.
We can hear from Nana B on exactly what his concerns are, but I believe the comment about weaponizing the base respectfully is not one that we want to be a part of. It's not one that we want to be a part of at all. We are increasingly working to move our politics from weaponization, conflict to a contest of ideas.
Yes.
You know, and so yes, granted, you have a fair point in the concern that some of the arrests, and we sit around this table and say,
and the rule of law should always be prominent.
Some of the arrests, respectfully, it won't go anywhere, and we've prayed the Attorney General that, I mean, have supervision over this, the police's incessant desire to want to just pick up anybody over claims of offensive conduct to the breach of peace and statements to the breach of peace, fear and panic and all of that. By all means, let us use the law when someone issues a threat or says something which causes fear and panic, which we all can realize that this thing, the person was misbehaving. By all means, but some of the arrests, misdemeanors.
Yes.
Leave them be and let us make headway in terms of conversations which will move us forward. But whilst we are saying that, it also doesn't give you the impetus to come and be telling us that you weaponize your base. I'm sorry, but nobody should allow comments like that enjoy media play.
Exactly.
You have to, the moment the person says, stop playing it on the airwaves, because we are seeking a contest of ideas. Let's hear what people. Yes, you are raising legitimate concerns, but don't be telling us you'll be weaponizing your base and making the country ungovernable and all of that. No, civil protest, yes, by all means engage that. But weapons and weaponizing.
It's a very reckless statement he made.
I'm sorry.
I'm hoping the leadership of the party will do something about it, because if you have party folks representing the vast majority of the party speaking carelessly in this manner, it's alarming. We enjoy a lot of peace as a country. We have transitioned from military interventions to a peaceful democratic dispensation that has allowed several changes in government, and I don't think we want to allow ourselves as a country to be weaponized against the interests of our very own selves. It's a reckless statement that must be.
But by all means, but let's take a listen in to the party's leadership when they met a rep of the diplomatic community in presenting what it is their petition and the concerns they had to raise.
The Ghanaian people are increasingly witnessing a deliberate and systematic weaponization of state institutions against political opponents, journalists, social media commentators, and dissenting voices. The emerging pattern of intimidation, arbitrary arrests, selective prosecutions, politically motivated detentions, and suppression of free speech bears disturbing resemblance to the dark and painful periods of Ghana's political history, commonly remembered as the culture of silence. The most disturbing feature of the present administration is the gradual resurrection of criminal libel and state-sponsored censorship. The abuse of state security agencies for partisan political purpose has become deeply entrenched. National security operatives, National Investigation Bureau, IOCO, and the Ghana Police are increasingly being deployed against opposition figures in dramatic Rambo-style arrest, midnight raids, dawn invasion of private residences, and prolonged detention under onerous and punitive bail conditions. The selective and partisan application of the law has become impossible to ignore.
We decided to show a lot of deference to the diplomatic community, so we decided to come with this respected number of men and women, not to come with any form of demonstration, not to trigger any form of problems, and that is why we have come here. As you heard my national organizer read to you, the general secretary of the party and the minority leader and the president in waiting, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, sent us to come and do this peacefully. Please, Your Excellency, we need action. First of all, the first action is to release Abronya DC. That we do not know. In fact, this court has not given us any day time for him to reappear, for him to be released. This is how the abuse is ongoing, the onslaught. And this is a judge who has predetermined the matter before the matter is even dealt with. Your Excellency, the history of all hitherto existing society is the history of class struggle. When this goes on for more than necessary time, we are not going to sit down and watch. If it is about killing us, I have told my family. And I'm sure a lot of people would. If you see that your father hasn't come home, understand. That is the kind of business we are in. That this government, headed by President John Dramani Mahama, does not understand that the criminal libel law was repealed. And that he's brought in the state that we call the culture of silence again. Somebody says, Dumso is back. You get the person arrested. No. This is it. And is Dumso not back, Your Excellency?
Well, that's the Deputy Minority Whip, Ahmed Shuaib, speaking with the rep of the diplomatic community. And so, yes, I think in listening to them, Nana B's comments were sound, and kudos to him on that front. I think when you meet the diplomatic community, well, you're allowed room to exaggerate. You're allowed room to put out your case strongly in the manner in which you believe, and so it's fair. I just felt that Salam's aspect of weaponizing is the only place where I drew the line in terms of everything that they did yesterday, which is well within their rights, and to an extent you can say commendations as well to them in that regard. But the commentary surrounding weaponizing is where we draw the line this morning and say that the statements can be cleaner in terms of all the things that happens. But let's switch focus from the NPP and do some other matters. And I want to take you to the front page of the Daily Graphic, because we know that staff of VRA and NEDCO are rejecting what is privatization. And the story reads that they've rejected a government proposal to introduce private sector participation into the distribution of power in the Northern Territory. They say the arrangement will transfer complete operational control to private entities while ignoring the structural challenges peculiar to NEDCO's mandates. They added that the idea was therefore unsuitable for the unique operational context of Northern Ghana, while the module constitutes full privatization disguised as participation. The worker groups question, for instance, the future of NEDCO staff when the private sector participation arrangement will potentially keep them idle for the large part of the engagement with the company. In a communication dated the 25th of March, addressed to the Minister of Energy and Green Transition, a copy of which Daily Graphic has seen, the VRA NEDCO staff group said they arrived at their conclusion after thorough examination of the guiding framework of the intended PSP arrangement. So, the staff of VRA and NEDCO, particularly NEDCO, is responsible for distribution of energy in the northern part of the country, say the framework in which the private sector participation has been put suggests that they could be idle after private sector participation comes through. And that is the area of concern for them, is the reason why they say they are against private sector participation, Kay.
Yes. In fact, one would think most of these engagements would be discussed extensively, even with the stakeholders. But was that done? You know, we seem to have a lot of ideas on how to manage some of these problems, whilst forgetting the approach. You know, sometimes you can have very good ideas, but the approach. We have often failed to do proper stakeholder engagement to help people understand the why. So their position can be more informed. I think that's my 2 cents on the matter.
Yeah, and perhaps we also need a bit more in terms of education as well, as to where we stand on the entire process for privatization. It will be a good time to perhaps speak to the spokesperson for the Energy Ministry as well, Richmond Roxon, to understand, one, the concern being raised by staff of VRA and NEDCO, and then two as well, where we are, because we know that this has been coming in the long run. And even if we're going to go ahead, because one of the many concerns in the lead up to the entire conversation was the fact that revenue generation was not being done well enough. I know, based on the little data that we've seen, ECG has been able to improve upon revenue generation. Does this change the mind of government in terms of wanting distribution to be handled by a private sector player? Will also be interesting. Will be interesting to see and note as well. And so these and more perhaps are the other aspects of the conversation which we can look at.
Yes. In
terms of private sector participation, because it came up. We saw PDS, what have you. PDS has become the subject matter of investigations now under this administration. Persons have been invited and all of that, and so it's understandable when there is cold feet as to private sector participation and whether or not it is necessary. And I can understand why the respective workers at these institutions will have concerns as to how it should proceed going forward. But the government appears determined and believe that will help in restoring a bit more in terms of not just confidence, but also deal with long-standing issues of debt within the energy sector. And so we'll see where we are. But I get the indication we cannot reach Richmond Roxon just as yet this morning for a bit more in relation to that. But I'm sure as and when we get him, we can bring additional aspects in relation to that subject matter. But
speaking on that subject, good morning to Samuel Fletcher, Deputy CEO, VRA. In fact, we would like to hear your opinion on some of these issues.
You should share a few thoughts. You should pick up the phone and
he's a good writer. It would be good even if he calls in to share a few thoughts here and there. But I think he has proven to be a discerning leader who has shared quite a few ideas about the industry and some positive changes, sustainable changes for the industry. So it'll be good to hear him, his opinions on this matter. We would like to hear from him.
Right. We know as well of the many things that have been happening in the court. Yesterday, the Supreme Court allowed 14 CSOs to join that challenge of, is it fair to call it a challenge? it's the prosecutorial powers
Yes.
of the OSP.
Yes.
I don't think it was in doubt they being allowed to be a party to the suit. They didn't come to me as a surprise. I don't think it did to you as well. But my only, I won't call it concern, but for want of a better word, right?
Yeah.
Concern nonetheless is what this means for ongoing cases being pursued by the OSP.
Yes.
Because in all of the cases, they've had to put a halt on it, pending a determination of some sort of this matter, and the OSP's challenge of that High Court ruling which said he does not have prosecutorial powers.
Yes.
The AG should authorize him to prosecute. That has left a gap of some sort on all the cases being prosecuted by the OSP.
Yeah.
And in my mind, that should also be of concern to the justices, the Lord Justices of the Supreme Court, so as not to delay.
When that happens, we will have to revisit old cases, old cases that have been closed, because then it would mean they did not have the power to investigate, prosecute at all. I think for the 14 CSOs defending the Office of the Special Prosecutor, including my very own Imani, it's as a result of the OSP not even being in the capacity to defend itself. Unfortunately, they cannot defend themselves. So these 14 CSOs have been up to the task, led by very renowned lawyers, sharp legal brains.
Yeah.
And we are hoping that the Supreme Court justices will interpret it in accordance with the law.
Most certainly, they will, and will seek to bring you details of it as and when it comes to. I'm going to go for this quick break here on the 3FM Sunrise. When we return, a bit more in terms of details for you on the newspapers and some others here on the 3FM Sunrise. Stay with us. mean for his prosecutorial powers. Public Accounts Committee has been sitting, and quite some development from there yesterday as well in relation to some monies and what have you going amiss in all of the conversation. Still in studio with Johnny Hughes and K Kujo, 7:17 here on the 3FM Sunrise. So on the prosecutorial powers of the OSP, you were suggesting that this could mean a number of cases done already.
Yes.
Could possibly, but I think on that one, maybe you should reiterate, because this one we're saying when we want the break.
Yeah.
I think that would be different. That Mahama investigations will be different because it wasn't prosecuted in the court.
Yes, but you see, the SB has investigation and prosecutorial powers, and he has prosecutorial discretion as well. So if after investigation he says there's nothing to prosecute, I mean, when there's a change, or should they lose in court, and should their prosecutorial authority be curtailed, that issue can be revisited. It can be revisited.
I believe what can be revisited will be matters that have made their way to court. So I think you can liken them to the police in terms of investigations.
Mm-hmm.
But like all other security agencies, they can investigate. And by the way, it's raining.
But don't forget that the OSP investigates and prosecutes.
Yes.
So they have that prosecutorial discretion.
That is the aspect which is under litigation.
Yes.
That investigate all you want.
Yes.
But when it is time for
prosecution, yes,
the Attorney General must
so
do it.
So if there's a new government that decides that, that there was no authorization from the Attorney General, so even the prosecutorial discretion does not hold,
then
that
maybe
means it can be revisited.
Then that will then become a subject of another interpretation arguments
yes.
on the Supreme Court, because then I think that will be an overstretch, because investigates, they can investigate. If you look at the act which puts them 959, it allows them to investigate. What is a subject matter of debate is if they can prosecute on their own.
So the Attorney General has been on that score with the OSP, suggesting that they need to come to them at every point in time to seek for their approval to go ahead with prosecution. Sami Dako, Esquire, who also is my very good friend at GIG at the time, he's insisted that, well, we can prosecute, we don't have to come and wait for anybody. Yes. And that's been the bane, the back and forth, the drag and push and pull, all of what has been happening. Are we getting value for money? Because we are spending on the OSP at the end of every month. We are spending on the OSP. We bought them bulletproof vehicles. We brought them whatever it is. Who have we prosecuted out of the OSP's office in relation to corruption-related activities? Who have we prosecuted? We have not been able to prosecute anybody. So they need to come to the center and come and tell us that, oh, okay, Kojo, Mawena, DJ Phil, Johnny Hughes, this is what we have done. They have not been able to come to the center to tell us anything. And then they want us to all believe that, we are working, we are doing something. You are not doing anything.
Johnny,
you are not doing anything.
I disagree.
You disagree.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay for you to disagree.
I would disagree, because if you go on their website, for instance, you see a lot of successes that they have been able to.
Chalk.
Yeah, and it's impressive. This is a young institution. It's barely 10 years old, and the institution has been largely under-resourced. I mean, imagine if we look at their budget allocation. Johnny, let's look at their budget allocation, for instance.
Martin Alamisi Kaiser Amidu was the first special prosecutor.
Yes.
Right? What did he get? Next to nothing. Kisija Bin came.
What did he accomplish?
We gave him bulletproof vehicles.
Martin Amidu actually, the challenge was him drawing down the money that was made available.
I'm saying that
because the money was made available.
When Kisija Bin came, we gave him bulletproof vehicles. We gave him money, over 300 staff. No.
But he pretty much set up the institution, or in terms of staff.
And I'm saying that Martin Amidu didn't get a quarter of what Kisija Bin has got, or what he got. What are we explaining around? We bought bulletproof vehicles for him. Paul Adumatri has been on Kisija Bin's case for damn too long.
But Johnny,
who have we prosecuted under the watch of the OSP? Tell me.
But sometimes it's not just the prosecution. It's not just getting a conviction.
You are investigating
the
corruption and corruption-related activities.
The prevention itself is also important. You see, and I like to speak to the fact that this is a young institution. If we look at the cost of corruption to this country, and we look at the budget allocated to the institution fighting corruption, that's why we have ECG officers doing what they do. That's why we have public servants doing what they do in their public offices. You see, but this is an anti-corruption institution. Let's look at the budget allocated them judiciously. Let's look at their day-to-day. They published their half-yearly report. I got the opportunity to scrutinize it. And I think we are not being fair to them if we say they haven't done enough. They are still working. I think they can improve. I think there are aspects of their operations that needs a lot of reforms. But to dismiss completely that because they have not successfully convicted anybody.
But could that also be what
Johnny is the bad cop? I want to be the good cop.
Me, it's my money that I'm looking at. I'm looking at my money.
Value for money.
I'm saying that the OSP was set up for a reason.
Prevention is part of that reason.
Prevention is better than kiosk. That's what we have been told. That's one. Number two, we have also been told that they are supposed to be investigating corruption and corruption risk assessment. How is the FBI able to come into our country and come and point out that, we think that you have been, and they cannot do that? How?
No,
How? Don't explain for them.
No,
if you explain for them, I'll put you on the black bench.
Because when it came to the Cecilia Dapa matter and it bordered on money laundering.
What happened?
Money laundering.
What happened?
Money laundering is not the reason
I'm saying,
of the OSP.
and
so they had to hand it over
corruption
to an
and corruption-related activities. What happened in the Cecilia Dapa matter? What happened?
No, after their own investigations, they said it was a subject matter of money laundering.
Yeah.
And what happened? Is that not corruption and corruption-related activities? What happened? You have read the act.
Yes,
what happened?
We've read the act a number of times.
What happened in that Cecilia Dapa matter?
They handed it over to Yoku.
But it's not enough to judge an entire institution based on a single case.
I'm saying that, Kekujo. I'm saying that since we decided to look, maybe we have not paid attention to what was said to us prior to the 2016 election. We were told that, this special prosecutor, when he comes, if Kekujo goes to steal Gary, we'll catch him, we'll put him inside. We were told all of those things.
Yes.
Has anybody been arrested or jailed because of what they did? No. So what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
Think,
even the Nanado himself, who brought the OSP and we even composed the song for Oyome, Gagantua, did we prosecute Oyome? there were many other people that we mentioned that, hey, man, they feel like Juloni, man. What has happened to them? We didn't do anything to all those people. So how do you want to convince me that after having used my state funds to buy bulletproof vehicles for Kise Jabin to be riding in, Blobi Kise Jabin, is my senior man, to be riding in, what has happened? Me neighbor.
But Johnny,
then
Johnny, you know, it's a process. It's a process.
After 9 years,
not after 9 years. Let's not, narrow everything down to some of these nitty-gritties. Let's look at it extensively. Let's look at the prevention. Let's look at what the office stands for. Because of the establishment of this office, there was a lot of public confidence. A lot of Guineans believed that we had transitioned from a phase where, we have politically exposed persons or political appointees. In this case, the Attorney General prosecuting his own. We have seen how the OSP transitioned from the pre-election phase, the post-election phase, this new government, how it started with some of these cases. Some called the cases useless. Some called their cases useless. Others showed up with crowds, and so it's a process. And until the process is exhausted, we cannot be quick to dismiss that they have not performed. However, it's important that we see value.
What is the scorecard, Kujo? What is the scorecard, Marina? What is the scorecard? OSP scorecard. What is it? Giving us updates, holding press conferences, singing Anko Numa song is not what we are looking for. This government promised us Operation Recover or loot. Where is the loot? Who has looted it? And where is it? Who is holding on to it? And why are we not getting the people? That's all I'm asking. I'm not making anything out of, anything that has not been said before. They said Operation Recover or loot. Okay, fine. Okay, let's go and vote for you. You come and recover the loot for you. Now, you have come. You are there. What is happening? You are not talking anything. OSP is there. Corruption risk.
None of the oral cases were referred to the OSP.
I'm not saying.
And that's why I think civil society has been saying that it would have been prudent that the oral cases would have been there should have been a more collaborative
between the OSP
effort. The OSP, Shiraj, Yoko, and the Attorney Generals.
Let me shock you. I was taken to court by the former Immigration Service boss, right? OSP called me. They wanted some detail that he did not have. I gave them the detail. What has happened to that matter? The man is on retirement now. What has happened to that matter? I'm telling you that OSP... where am I feeding? Let me just keep quiet.
Feel free and proceed.
I won't feel free. It's sub judice. I won't feel free.
No.
But I'm saying that, look, we are paying money, we are paying staff. When Martin Amidu was there, he didn't have that much staff, over 300 people, right? And he kept complaining about it. When Kise Jabin came, he had staff, right? He even came to request for vehicles, blah, 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 office space, and all of that. What has happened since we gave him that? That's the question I'm asking.
Let me tell you what has happened from their website.
Tell me.
I don't think we'll even find the same information on the website of the Attorney General or say Yoko, But here I just Googled it and I found it. It's right here. And it says the impact the office has made. 7 convictions secured, 31 persons standing trial, 7 suspended transactions, 35.14 million Ghana cedis recovered, and 7.18 billion Ghana cedis loss averted, 17,475 persons sensitized. So I think for an institution that is
under 10 years old,
under 10 years old, there's room for growth.
Is that the excuse?
It's not an excuse. It's a fact.
But
it's
you're
here.
raising one for them.
Let me say this. Could it be that we're in thirst for high-level prosecutions.
Look,
right? Because the Ghanaian, even the Attorney General is coming under flag that, look, prosecutes the people who were in high places.
Who you told us that had done wrong.
That you want to go after. You haven't given us one person going to jail.
Yes.
So what are all the investigative bodies doing?
And you come
it's
and
a sentiment
you come and do press conferences and come and tell us about people who are guilty and those who are not guilty. Jail the people if they are guilty. If they are not guilty, leave them alone. Yes. That's all my point.
And I think that the burden lies extensively on the Attorney General and shared with other anti-corruption bodies, because for me, if we should look at sentiment from a sentiment analysis perspective, we are in a phase where if we were to go back in time in 79, when they were saying let the blood flow, when they were saying let the blood flow,
and shot.
Now we've transitioned to a democratic phase as a country, and we're not saying let the blood flow, we're saying let justice be done. And we are not seeing it.
Jail them. It's not let the blood.
No. Jail them. Cage them.
And they're not jailing anybody. We are not seeing any strong convictions, any flagship convictions. So I do understand Johnny as well. I mean, I share similar sentiments. Sometimes I feel like our institutions are not working
You be
enough.
the good cop. Let me be the bad cop. Because the people have to be jailed. If you have stolen, you have to be jailed. It's not negotiable.
There cannot be an in-between.
No. You have stolen from us. You have chopped Ghana money. We didn't authorize you to spend that money. You have to be jailed. You have to be caged.
Justice delayed is justice denied.
Then you have to go horizontally. Then you'll be there. Then you wake up at 5 a.m. Then you go back to sleep at 5 p.m. Then we have to insist on that. The Attorney General is playing with us. He has had a very brilliant performance in private legal practice. He has to be up and do the things that we have mandated him to do. We cannot have excuses in him. No.
Yes,
we will not take it anymore.
I agree.
He has to move to the point where he has to jail people. Final matter.
Right. The rains are on this morning.
Yeah.
Very heavily. I think over the last 10 minutes it's been very heavy. I can hear it on the roof. A number of concerns already in different parts. We know when the rains come down like this, it will immediately mean flooding in different parts of the country. A message has come through this morning. Prince Eric Ejie will be joining us a lot later this morning. Is asking what is being done in relation to dredging the Peshi Lagoon.
Peshi.
Yeah. Peshi Lagoon. To avoid a major disaster, he says. Same can be said for the Odo and for other areas. Odo yeah. and other areas as well.
Come and change things for us.
It is how it has been pronounced that we have
no. They are mispronouncing Peshi, yes. Odo.
And a host of other places.
Ofanko.
Yeah.
But so, Mawina, why do we have to wait every year and then discuss, come back to this issue?
That there's going to rain.
I've been hearing this since
we're going to dredge now.
I was a teenager. Year after year, we wait when the time is close. We hear the same conversation, but we forget that there are institutions, there are government agencies that are part of the issues surrounding flooding. How do you license people to build by waterways, and then a few years later we expect that their houses are going to be pulled down? Who licensed them in the first place?
The Odo is close to the Kokma, right? Cloté Municipal Assembly. They are close to them, and they have authorized people to do whatever it is. EMA Submetro is. Sometimes you think you don't even understand. You don't want to even wrap your head around it because your head going to bubble. It will ache.
You can't think far.
You can't think far. Why do they do that? Why?
And the sad part is, fellow Ghanaians trusting state institutions go for permits and invest in building up their houses, and then, I mean, fast forward, they are pulled down. How is the ordinary Ghanaian who does not understand the technicalities of most of these things, navigate licensing to know that he's building in a waterway? So talking of Southern Ghana flood threats, like the New Ghanaian Times highlighted on their front page, I think this year we want to see something different. We want to, we don't just want to have the same conversation. There should be a reset.
Something should
as
happen.
well. We should reset that aspect of our livelihoods as a nation.
Is wearing a three-piece suit.
For persons who are using the roads and all of that this morning, we'll urge a bit more in terms of caution.
Be slow in moving around.
If you can wait out the rain. I think the last time, Johnny, you were sharing experiences as to how some persons' vehicles had been swept into gutters and all of that. And so if you can, wait out the rain this morning.
A lot of people don't have patience when they are driving through the rain, and sometimes it's painful because you can clearly see that this guy is where he's going. He will slide into the drain, but he's going anyway. And sometimes you give them horn, bam, 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 they won't mind you.
Yeah.
Before you know it, yeah, in there. And now they are calling wow.
I know, right? Today is also a good time to ask about that committee which was set up by the president.
Or the disaster.
Yes, to
disaster
take care
management.
of ahead of flooding, to look at drainage and all of that. Now is the time to check their scorecard as well.
Yeah.
And the work they've been able to do up until now, where we've been told the rains will be heavier this year than it's ever been. And over the last 15 plus minutes since we've been talking, it's been non-stop. I've been looking through the windows, and the intensity has not changed.
Yeah.
So
it's actually free car wash for car owners.
Did you park outside?
Yeah. Free car
you
wash.
anticipated. So
DJ Phil, myself, K Kujo, we all parked outside. So we're getting free car wash.
So it will be a good time for us to get an update from them as to what's happening in relation to the situation in helping prepare us for this season or this period, right?
Yes, in fact, good morning to Honorable Stando.
Yes, in fact, I was going to mention his name. He's chairing the operation.
He's chairing that committee.
He's chairing that committee. Chairing that committee. Other members include
Anti-Flood Task Force. It's a
seven-member task force.
He's the Deputy Chief of Staff, right?
In fact, the Minister for Works and Housing, Kenneth Gilbert Ejay, is a part of that. The Minister for Local Government, Ahmed Ibrahim, is a part of that. Deputy Commissioner of Police and National Security Coordinator Abdul Osman Razak. He's COP now, right?
Yeah.
He's COP now.
He was denied his promotion, but when
they came, they gave it to him, and I think subsequently
and there are many others like that who did not get their promotion, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Also, Teddy Addy, Deputy Director General of the National Disaster Management Organization.
The Macho Man.
Yes.
The Macho Man, former MP.
Yes.
Okay.
He's also a part of this 7-member committee. And Madame Marietta Brew appear upon legal counsel to the President and Secretary to the Task Force.
Yes. There's 48 Engineers Regiment Commander, Brigadier General Richard Kinney.
One step ahead.
Yes. Also
48, one step, you say ahead.
So yes, now will be a good time for us to
ask that question.
Yes.
How far? So far, how far?
Yeah. What is the level of work that's been done? Because the committee was set up ahead,
right,
to ensure that we do not have instances of disaster, floods taking over places and whatever. And they did some aerial view work as well. They went around. So some work was done. As to how it's transitioned into on the ground work for us to have a feel is what we're seeking to get details of today as well here on the show. And so we'll ask those questions for you, but we'll also entreat you to be mindful as you go out or on the road today. It's very, very important, very, very important that you take care of yourself as you're on the road. You're on the road today.
Yes, asking of scorecard. A colleague just sent something in. Well, let's not assume they're not doing much. Says there's rapid response capacity is moderately strong. Public comms has improved. Engineering interventions too has improved. Enforcement against illegal structures has improved largely with a lot of negative sentiments. And long-term urban planning reform, although there's insufficient evidence, it has improved. Institutional accountability is still unclear, so that has improved as well. So just so that
and this is relative to what, NADMO?
Yes, and the committee set up the anti-flood task force.
So that's the level of work they've done.
Yes.
If you will kindly go over that for us again.
But in Dansoma yesterday, it was flooding. It was flooding in Dansoma. Please tell your friend that it was flooding in Dansoma.
No, I want him to go over the work.
I'm telling him what I saw yesterday. Yes. Dansoma yesterday flooded.
I mean,
if you go to Kaneshie right now,
I've seen
flooding.
I've seen even
you
worse.
see the video. So
yes.
So the English that we have been
it's
told.
good when we hear some of these things.
Oh
so
no,
that
it's
we
okay.
can peruse further.
I'm not against him, but I'm saying that yesterday I was in Dansoma, it flooded.
Yes.
And then Kaneshie is flooded.
So they're saying rapid response capacity is moderately strong.
Moderately strong.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Public communications is stronger now.
It's stronger, eh?
Yes.
So we're not told that Dansoma will be flooding.
Engineering interventions, partial. They think it's too early to enforcement against illegal
that's
structures.
Why Dansoma flooded.
Weak to moderate. And then long-term urban planning reform as well. Even though there's insufficient evidence in this particular regard, for institutional accountability, it's still unclear. Yeah, so overall,
please send a message to your friend. Ask them why Dansoma flooded. I want to hear the reason. Because yesterday I was in Dansoma, it flooded. Yesterday I went to the hospital in Dansoma, it flooded. Dansoma flooded when it rained.
Yeah.
Yes, you
I
can bear me witness.
Yeah.
In fact, what Kaneshie
flooded, Dansoma flooded,
Mataiko.
Odoko flooded,
Yes.
Mataiko flooded.
Yeah,
So
Malam Junction.
So please send a message to your friend. Ask him
Malam Junction.
that this is what we also saw.
Shiashi.
So it's partial.
Right now
is heavy.
will be the Peshi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peshi. Yeah.
Area right now will be, and in fact, when you are coming from Teshi towards the beach road,
Yeah.
boy, that place is crazy. I think on Monday I was on my way to work when it was raining. In fact, the La Palm Royal Beach front, when you get to Labadi, where the road is being constructed and the traffic light is supposed to be at, that place right now, and that's where the Peshi Lagoon situation is happening at. So there are a lot of areas where, as we speak right now, you can mention the age-old problem of Adabraka and its environs, what the situation will be like after what has been 30 minutes of rain.
What we don't want is explanations. What we want is solutions.
Yeah.
And we should be getting it. It's a moderate, partial.
Too much English.
No, we don't want that. We have enough adjectives to explain ourselves. What we want is actually the solution to the problem.
Yeah.
And we should be able to get the problems fixed for us and not get explanations of the problems that...
Because most of the time, the the reports don't meet the reality
That's the whole point.
on the ground.
That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So let's get the solutions,
Yes.
and then we'll be happy with you.
Right, I thought that was on Facebook. For those on Facebook, the committee we've been talking about, the anti-flooding committee, the last time, I don't want to say we heard of them, but the last time their work was deliberately put out in the media, right? Because they could be doing work which they will decide it is not a subject of media consumption. The last time they went around an aerial view of the capital, and that's where they were witnessing, or they saw for themselves what the situation is. And so some of the shots there, for those on Facebook as well who are watching, but a number of you have been sharing messages as well in relation to the subject matter of conversation. Aaron Babakoko Komisa says that, good morning to you. We maintain that the office of the special prosecutor was explicitly established with a mandate to investigate and prosecute public officials whose official conduct is questionable or tainted by allegations of corruption. Indeed, the Ghanaian public can objectively testify that, at the very least, the OSP has successfully heightened national awareness regarding several high-profile corruption cases. Consequently, if the Attorney General has constrained or usurped the OSP's independent prosecutorial powers, legal experts and constitutional scholars must intervene to address this systemic conflict, he says. BKB blesses, good morning, my boss, Johnny. I really like your fire. Keep the fire. And he drops a lot of fire emojis. On this OSP, no problem. Oh, Ghana, we are not ready to change as a nation. Is it okay? So it says on this OSP, no problem. Ghana, we are not ready to change as a nation.
Exactly.
And Akoto Nicholas sends greetings as well. A lot of people have been interested in the OSP conversation. Let us know what you make as well of the flooding situation. And if you're in an area where you need assistance, right? Because we know when the rains come around like this, somewhere last year, persons had to be rescued from their homes by NADMO officials. You can reach the Ghana Police Service on 191. Let me get what the fire service helplines are, so that you can reach them as well. I think it's 192, if I'm not mistaken. 192.
Yeah, that's it.
You can reach them immediately if you're in an area where there's a need for some assistance. 192, or is it 112 as well? I see is a number you can reach them on as well for emergency. So 112 is for the Ghana National Fire Service. If you're in an area where there's a need for emergency assistance, rescue, 112 is the number you should be calling if you're listening to us here on the 3FM Sunrise, as we begin to make our way for sports here on the show as well. And so a number of areas, I'm getting reports, for instance, in the town of Manhiana Fuaman, the flooding situation is beginning to get into people's homes.
Manhia.
Afuaman. Yes.
Manhia is new town in Ghana. It's new town. And the water is getting there already.
Yeah.
Okay, what did your friend say?
Oh.
The moderates. What did your friend say?
Plenty English, eh?
Yes.
I'm telling you, your friend, that we also stakeholders.
We can see it from two different perspectives, Johnny.
No,
I mean,
you are a researcher. You will talk plenty English. It's okay. What did your friend say? Don't give us researcher English. The thing, the water is entering people's homes.
I mean, even in a community very, very dear to me, these are recurring problems.
Yeah.
I'm speaking to people on the Wager stretch.
We even forgot about them.
From Wager Junction.
Yes. We spoke to the NADMO boss about that, and he admitted that they had gone there to do a couple of
Sampa Valley residents.
Yes, Sampa, Huni Valley
barrier. I mean, even the old barrier SCC, the old barrier West Hills Mall stretch.
Where you branch off to the
Yes.
DVLA.
Jonathan Shime.
Jonathan
ADB.
Syme, yeah.
ADB.
Adambon Syme.
Yes.
That's my main man.
Oh, yes. He promised me they were going to fix that road.
Oh, relax.
The
That
bank
road-
said they were going
No,
to
not the
fund
bank.
it, or he the individual.
No, he said he was going to
Jonathan
make sure
Adambon Syme.
that
He's a good guy.
it's going to be
Last month we went
sorted
to
out.
bury his father.
Yes,
It was a
yes,
good guy. He's a
yes.
good guy. He's
In
always
fact,
been a good guy.
I saw some temporary measures. I don't know if he was involved, but
No, if
uh,
Jonah tells you he will do something, he will do it.
yeah,
It's
but
like a Kujo.
it hasn't improved.
It's like
much.
Kujo. If he tells you he will do something, he will do it.
Yeah. So Jonathan, I mean, I still haven't come by the bank because of the road. I know I met you at Melcom the other time, but
Oh, Jack.
yes,
The road is serving as an existential
I went to
threat.
the bank two days ago.
2 days ago.
Yes, on Monday.
Oh, okay.
Relax.
Okay.
Relax.
Because they need to help businesses along that stretch.
But I've
It's
asked you
very
about your
difficult.
friend, though. Your friend said it's moderate, is partial, blah blah blah. Tell him that we are telling him that it is entering people's homes at mine here.
Yes, Afuaman to be specific. So you see the Wager Dam.
It's entering people's homes.
My friend, you know yourself. You see, sometimes these reports don't reflect the reality on the ground. Though. Let's not get people angry. We have evidence of the situation still ongoing. Houses are getting flooded, roads are getting flooded, and it's difficult for even drivers to navigate their way around town. It's affecting businesses. Imagine rushing someone to the hospital in this condition.
A pregnant woman, for that matter.
Yeah, it would be devastating.
Yeah, the Fancourt area, so the major highway because the drainage system is poor, it gathers onto one side of the road. It pushes drivers to drive along one side. It will result in heavy vehicular traffic today. Taifa Junction, we understand as well.
DJ Phil is speaking about
he's speaking about his people. So yeah, for the people at Afuaman, I understand the situation has been quite dire. The last time it rained, it was very severe, and today as well it's been
2 days ago
raining.
it rained.
Yes,
and then today's as well.
And so it will only worsen their plight. And so Gan West Municipal Assembly, that falls directly within their
Even
remit.
the Gas South, MCE, good morning. White Cross, that vicinity, that Sampa Valley vicinity, White Cross, they've been complaining.
For a
They
while.
say, waterways have been given to Chinese people to occupy, and they are experiencing floods.
This
So
matter.
if you can do something about it, so they don't start pointing fingers, accusing you of being a party to it.
Absolutely. Time for us to do sports. Mutala is here.
I'm sure he has
we'll
a
get
question
into
on his mind.
today I'm not sure he has a question.
No, he has. No,
We are now forcing him to think about something.
I'm not forcing
Oh,
him
no,
to
no,
think
no, no.
about
I
it.
always have something.
The man has
Why, am I
something.
not
He
a
trained
Ghanaian?
as a journalist. What are you talking about?
Am I not a Ghanaian?
Is he not?
I've
He's
not doubted his competence.
Am I not a Ghanaian?
In fact, we were on the radio together.
So allow him to flow.
Yeah,
What's
we're on the
mind?
radio together for years.
Yes.
I mean, Radio GIG.
Oh no, that one you don't go beyond 37.
Oh, it actually goes far.
Oh please.
And I see all the other
Please.
catch
We set
What I have in mind today.
Marina, we set the thing up.
Of course.
It doesn't go beyond 37.
I can see.
And now you are coming to tell me.
No, I'm being honest.
what
I've actually caught the frequency when I was at.
then you were operating beyond NCA.
No, I'm being honest. I've actually caught it.
NCA.
I've actually caught it before.
No,
so,
because we were the ones who were the pioneers who did that thing.
respectfully, a cue has been taken.
Thank you very much.
Aside us now winning the Champions League, I mean, there's this thing on social media yesterday. I don't know if you were on Twitter.
They won the league, right?
No, yeah. TV3 got a lot of bashing.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's normal.
You were on Twitter.
It's normal.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
So-
on X.
Yeah, it stems from the fact that they had brought Ajwati to interview her on the afternoon show, and I found out some lawmakers in this country also even joined the bandwagon that there are serious matters to be discussed. This is not the TV3 we grew up to watch, and why are TV3 deviating?
Opinions are like
Yeah.
roses.
But
So-
Mutala,
Yeah.
who determines media content?
Yeah.
We are the owners of the
It looks like
streets.
that education hasn't really.
No,
gone
no,
up.
no,
it's not even about
don't
the
mind.
subject
It's not,
matter
it's not education. We have our network. We are holding it in trust for Ghanaians.
So I saw one
And
lawyer
we
trying to explain.
Oh no! And
in
we
details.
decided that this lady will give us good content. What is your problem? What is your perturbation? Go and set up a TV station and privately broadcast what you want to broadcast. Go ahead. Why are we being
Your
attacked?
name even came up. That is why.
Oh no, me.
Yeah, that I mean a station that has the likes of Johnny Hughes and you.
They said
I
I've
didn't
done
catch-
what?
I didn't-
you
I didn't
guys
catch
are
the
all watching
conversation
on-
at all.
it was on-
They were like, you guys are all watching on for.
And they say I've done what?
I saw it. I
Me,
saw it.
Johnny Hughes.
You guys
I've done
are
what?
all- You guys are all watching on for.
Marina,
things
me,
like
I've done
this to
what?
happen.
The film. I've done what?
The concern was
I don't know
that-
if you saw it on X.
Oh, I saw it.
They say what?
I live on
I
X
saw
half
Scanty
the
of
time.
KSS all coming to defend that. I mean, there are
I mean,
people
the
who-
point he made, right? And
Marina,
for anybody.
that I have done what?
Oh no! I mean, they are just saying
No,
there's a community of reading men. So why should we allow?
And we
such
should
a-
not allow
Yeah,
this to happen.
because they feel you have a
That's-
voice, so you should not even.
that's-
You
Oh,
are one
please.
person. who
That's
should
just a
allow them.
concern.
please.
But I think, for me, more often than not, I will not respond to some of these things. But I think the comments as shared by Scanty, which you made reference to, pretty much answered everything. That the media, we do our work. And not every conversation, I will not even say not every conversation is important. That's not even the point I want to make. That the most important things, when you talk about it, receives the least traction in these parts. And so people are within their rights to want to believe that there are serious matters which have not been spoken about. We have been here. We'll be here till 10 a.m. We'll carry issues of national interest on our
They
head.
won't listen.
But another
Okay, could you
subject
go and
matter
bring
will-
research
exactly.
details? They
and
won't
so,
listen.
And
When
so
we
it's
finish.
just a case of
imagine?
persons just, I mean, they
Go
are,
and
they are
bring
well
research
within they are well
details.
within their rights to want
Facts
to
and
share
figures. They
opinions.
won't listen to it.
Only the opinion must be informed to a certain extent.
And I also
And
feel it stems
sometimes-
from the hate for the person who was interviewed, because
Exactly.
there are people within her bracket who have been on that show. They were praised.
Yeah.
They were given all the
So
praise.
it's
but
just,
when it got to her, it's like,
it's just a matter of
Joe?
uninformed
you know, last week I
opinion.
was not here.
Yeah.
I want Johnny Hughes's honest answer on an
Oh,
on a subject.
on what? On what
I
exactly?
even wanted to get your number, and
On what exactly? I'm waiting for you.
it had to do with the VGMA.
VGMA, okay.
There's this morality police on social media about Hajia Foreo appearing on stage.
Okay.
Now, I've seen lawyers try to, come up with debate and all that, okay, this is someone who was convicted of a crime in the US, and you have your biggest musical awards. You allow this person to come and present an award. And there's another school of thought that believes, but she's a free person now. So are you saying she shouldn't, if somebody has been convicted, the person has no right to be out there? Because others feel, okay, what are we proclaiming as Ghanaians? And I said I wanted your honest opinion.
I am not a learning man.
Yeah.
I am not a learned man. But as far as I know, she's been convicted, discharged, and she's a free citizen of the Republic of Ghana.
Exactly.
She is a musician. She's a socialite. She can appear where she wants to appear. Everybody can go and take a quick shower and go and sleep. She can be there when she has to be there. If the organizers of the TGMA think that she deserves to be on that platform for whatever reason to present an award or do whatever it is, so much it be.
Yeah.
But it is not in my place to say that she cannot be there. Everybody can take a quick shower and go and sleep. She has a right to be there. She
has the right to be there.
There's no law that prevents.
no law precludes her from
Yeah.
being there. She's been picked up. She's been dealt with.
Most
she
were
was-
looking at
Sometimes
it
we
from
have
the
to
moral,
stop. We have
moral
to stop
angle.
What morality?
What are we?
What morality?
What
That's
message are we
double
sending
standard.
to the young
Didn't
one?
we get gays and lesbians on that red carpet? Should I mention names?
I don't know.
You will not.
You also don't know, right?
But you know what I mean. If you switch me, I'll switch.
I'm not
I'm
switch.
saying, so don't
I'm just
switch.
saying I
So
beg
don't
you.
switch.
I beg you.
They were there. Where were those morality antennas? The people, the gays and lesbians who appeared there. Where were those morality antennas? Leave the lady to be on her own.
Right.
FBI is still in town. They are looking for other people. She has served her term. Let them look for the other people who are also guilty. Find me Kepu. Let's play it.
Good morning, Haji. I'm in Ethiopia.
Come and do sports for us.
Yeah, that's not on the legal, but when you're finally.
Please, come and do sports.
Please.
Come and do
Heartbreak
sports.
for me.
Please, we don't want any Arsenal news. We beg you.
Come and do the sports. You, I beg you. I don't want to talk about us.
Look for the book music.
Let's do sports.
No, play the thing.
Let's do sports.
Let the song play.
When we come back, we will do Cooper because some of the things it's best left to music.
Let's do some sports here on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yakubu. Coming up this morning after 22 years, Arsenal finally break that curse and have won the English Premier League. Also, Minister for Sports and Recreation Kofi Adams has addressed the press ahead of Ghana's World Cup and says that we have learned our lessons from organization. Also, the Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations is ongoing, and Ghana must defeat South Africa at all costs to stand a chance of qualifying for the next stage. Let's now settle for the details. We're just 23 days to the 2026 World Cup. Minister for Sports and Recreation Kofi Adams has vowed to avoid past mistakes at the Mundial, citing past tournaments as case studies. He stressed the importance of accountability and efficient organization while addressing the media.
Learned a lot of lessons. Some of the things we are trying to avoid, we don't want to repeat them. For example, the oversight committee or the ministry is not going to contract any caterer to cook for anybody. Anyone who says she is a good chef, she is a good cook, or he's a good cook, when you know where Ghanaians will be staying, go there, go through processes, cook your food. If it's good, if it tastes well, the quantity is good, the Ghanaian fans will go and buy your food. We are avoiding many of the areas, player benefits and the rest. We want to do it more earlier, much earlier than maybe is being done, to make sure that all these things don't generate any unnecessary situation.
Minister for Sports and Recreation Kofi Adams are there. Now let's do the Africa Cup of Nations qualifier. Ghana has been pitted in Group C of the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers alongside Somalia, Gambia, and Ivory Coast in what many have labeled as the group of death. My colleague Bill Shen provides more updates on this.
Ghana has been placed in Group C of the 2027 AFCON qualifying draw alongside 2023 AFCON champions Ivory Coast. There's also Somalia and then Gambia in that same group. Now remember that the top two in that particular group will qualify automatically to AFCON 2027, the Pamoja version of the AFCON. Remember also that Ghana did not qualify for the previous edition AFCON 2025, and that was the first time they failed to qualify for an AFCON in 2 decades. Now the whole qualifying phase will begin at the ending of September, beginning of October, and then there will be match day 3 and 4 in between November, and then match day 5 and 6, which will be the final match days in qualification, which will be happening at the end of March. And so there will be some pressure for Ghana after the World Cup campaign to try and qualify to the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations.
My colleague Bill Shen there talking about the 2027 AFCON qualifiers, where Ghana will have to come up against Somalia, Gambia, and also the Ivory Coast. Still on the World Cup, former Ghana international Laik Kingston has spoken candidly about the disappointment of missing out on the Black Stars squad for the 2010 FIFA World Cup, describing the decision as still hurts him later all these years. Now, speaking in an interview with Three Sports, Kingston admitted the news came as a major shock to him.
For me, what hurts me so much is I've been part of 2 World Cups. I've been very instrumental of 2 World Cups. So even, and it's not that when my time, that 8 years. 8 years. It's not that I'm a bench player or maybe a club, a squad player. I was very instrumental and not even enjoying 1 minute in that competition. It's a huge blow for me.
Like I said, they're talking about the disappointment of not being part of Ghana's World Cup squad for the 2010 edition. Now let's switch our attention to some athletics. We're following a disappointing outing the 2026 African Athletics Championship, where Joseph Paul Amoah missed out on medals in the individual 100 meters and 200 meter event. Ghana also did not win enough medals in here, especially with gold, but he was the team captain, and he was here with us on a warm-up at TV3, and he spoke about his time in the competition.
I'm definitely looking, I'm always looking to do better. So it was bronze last time. I'm not going to set any expectation for myself. I just go into every race trying to execute and try to make the, just go round by round. If you don't get to the finals, you can't win a medal. Yeah. So I always go into every competition, try to take it 1 round at a time. And I still don't know what event I'm going to run. I don't know if I run the 100 or the 200, but we'll see how training goes. We'll see what coach comes up with, and then when we get there, we'll see what event we'll run.
Joseph Paul Amoah, captain for Team Ghana, the Just and the Senior Africa Athletics Championship. Now, Black Star Letter Media Officer Sheikh Tofik has stressed the urgency of Ghana to win their final group game at the ongoing Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations, describing it as a decisive match for survival in the competition. Ghana will come up against South Africa in a must-win game after drawing 2-2 against Algeria in their opener and losing against Senegal in their second game.
I believe that if those measures are put in place going into the game against South Africa, hopefully, inshallah, we'll be able to pick the maximum points against the South Africans. And the situation they find themselves in, they won their first game against Senegal by 2-1, and they've lost their second game to what do you call it?
To Algeria.
To Algeria.
Yeah.
So what it means is that they need a point against Ghana to be able to qualify to the next phase of the competition, because the competition is said that 10 countries will represent Africa at the World Cup. So even the best third place, sides, 2 of the best will be picked in addition to the first top 2 in each group to make 10 to go to the World Cup. So South Africa will also come gun blazing. They will also come fighting. So it's going to be a cracker of a game, but we have no choice. The only choice that Ghana has at this particular moment is to beat South Africa.
Ghana will have to defeat South Africa at all costs to stand a chance of being part of the teams or the 10 African countries that will qualify for the Under-17 World Cup. But now let's go to England, because the big news is that after 22 years of waiting, heartbreak and painful near misses, Arsenal are finally champions of England once again. The Red Half of North London erupted in celebrations as the Gunners claimed their 14th Premier League title in dramatic fashion, bringing an end to one of the longest title droughts in the club's proud history. The decisive moment arrived on Monday when Arsenal edged relegated Burnley 1-0 in a tense and a nervy encounter. Then Manchester City's failure to defeat Bournemouth actually handed Arsenal the title. Manchester City manager Pep Guardiola believes the Gunners deserve the title.
Yeah, of course it happened. So we could play maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday, have a little bit more days, but yeah, it's what it is. So I doubt about the fresh legs, but always have the energy when the team where it is, and you put a lot of midfield players to have control, to don't make transition game like they are so really, really good, and after we missed a little bit the last moment, but the players gave everything and absolutely all the season fighting for difficult circumstances until the end, and we were close to arrive at the last moment, and just of course on behalf of all Man City, my team, congratulate Arsenal, Mikel, staff, backroom staff, all the players, fans for this Premier League, and they deserve.
Definitely a big congratulations to all Arsenal fans. 22 years of heartbreak finally ends as the Gunners lay their hands on the title. That's all by way of sports here on 3FM Sunrise. My name is Mutala Yakubu. For more sports, log on to our handles R3 Sports GH and you will get the latest. The show continues after this.